They skipped my birthday dinner and said, "No one cares." So I cut off every payment I was making for them. By morning, every voicemail started with, "Please, I-32M. I wanted to do something special for my birthday this year." After years of keeping things quiet, of celebrating alone or with just one or two people, I thought it was time to bring my family together for a nice dinner. I didn't want anything huge or showy, just good food, good company, and one night where everyone I cared about could sit around the same table. I picked Romano's, a beautiful Italian restaurant in the heart of downtown, a place that felt just right for the kind of evening I had in mind, comfortable but classy. I made a reservation for 8 myself, my girlfriend, and 6 family members. I paid the deposit without thinking twice, excited about what was coming. I didn't just send a text or create an event. I took the time to call everyone personally. My sister was the first to answer, and she seemed genuinely excited. She said it sounded wonderful, that she'd been wanting a chance for all of us to be together again. My parents were also happy about the plan, telling me how nice it would be to catch up. My brother said he was in too. Even my aunt, who was usually hard to get out of the house, promised she'd be there. For the first time in a long while, I was looking forward to a birthday that felt more than just another day on the calendar. The night before, I sent a quick message to the group chat, just to confirm the time and place. Everyone responded positively. Thumbs up, smiley faces, can't wait. That made me smile as I went to bed. I was truly excited about what tomorrow would bring. The morning of my birthday, a Saturday, started off peaceful. I had breakfast with my girlfriend before she left for a work conference. She felt bad about missing the dinner, but I told her it was fine. We'd celebrate when she got back. I spent the rest of the day feeling hopeful, getting ready slowly, thinking about how the evening might go. Around 5:30 p.m., just as I was about to put on my jacket, my phone buzzed. A message from my sister popped up. She said she couldn't come anymore because something had happened with her kids. It felt a bit rushed, like she wasn't really sorry. A few minutes later, my brother texted too. He said he'd decided to go to a friend's party instead. Then my parents canceled as well, saying they were too tired. My aunt claimed she suddenly got a headache. One after the other, within just 15 minutes, every single person canceled. I just sat there, holding my phone, reading the messages again and again. I tried calling my sister, no answer. I tried my brother, straight to voicemail. I didn't want to believe it, but it felt like they had all planned this. Still, I didn't want to waste the reservation. I got in my car and drove to Romano's, alone. The hostess greeted me politely and asked about the rest of the group. I smiled lightly and said plans had changed last minute. She offered me a smaller table, but I told her I wanted to stay at the original one. I needed to sit there and really feel what was happening. I ordered the dishes I had been looking forward to sharing. The food was incredible, but every bite felt strange sitting alone at a table meant for 8. I noticed people glancing over now and then, maybe wondering why I was by myself. But I didn't care about the looks. What hurt was knowing that my own family had decided I wasn't worth their evening. But that hurt turned into something colder when I looked up mid-meal and saw my sister walking into the restaurant. She wasn't alone. Her husband, her kids, my brother, and his girlfriend were all with her. They were being led to a table not far from mine. I sat there frozen for a second, watching them settle in, laughing, talking like it was any other night. My sister looked at me. Her expression shifted briefly. A flash of guilt. Maybe, but then she looked away and kept talking. They had all lied. They had canceled on me just so they could come here, together, without me. I finished my meal quietly, barely tasting it. When the server brought the check, I noticed my sister getting up and walking toward me. She tried to act casual, saying how funny it was that we both ended up at the same place. I looked her straight in the eye and asked why they really canceled. She acted surprised, then gave me a shrug and said sometimes plans just change. Then she said something that stuck in my chest like ice. She laughed and told me not to take it personally, because no one really cares about these things. It's just you. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I just nodded, stood up, paid the bill, and walked out. The server looked at me kindly and apologized for how things turned out. I left a generous tip and drove home in silence. I sat in my car for a few minutes, just breathing. Then I pulled out my phone and sent one simple text to the family group chat. That night, after I sent that one simple message, "Let's see how you celebrate without a mortgage," I didn't wait for responses. I didn't sit around watching red receipts or anticipating apologies. I turned off my phone completely, walked into my apartment, and sat down in silence. It wasn't anger that was running through me anymore. It was clarity. A strange, calm sort of realization that I had spent years carrying people who wouldn't even spend one night sitting across a table from me. And that simple decision to walk away from the restaurant and into that truth felt like the most powerful thing I'd done in a long time. What no one in my family knew was just how deep my support for them ran. It hadn't just been emotional or occasional help. I had been quietly covering major financial responsibilities for years. It started with my parents when my dad lost his job 3 years ago. At first, I helped with a few payments on their mortgage, just until he got back on his feet. That was the plan. But the months turned into years. He never really recovered professionally, and they never brought up stopping the assistance. I never asked them to. It just kept going. My sister's situation came next. After her divorce, she was left with piles of debt, struggling to raise her kids on inconsistent child support payments. I told her I'd help temporarily. I started covering her mortgage too, plus her car loan. 2 years passed. She got a full-time job 6 months ago, but she never mentioned resuming payments. She just let me keep handling it like it was mine. Then there was my brother. He had big dreams, always talking about the business he was building, the legacy he was creating, the greatness that was just around the corner. But the truth was, his company was a constant sinkhole. He needed money all the time: office rent, equipment, bills, even personal expenses. Every month, he'd come to me saying he just needed one more push to get over the next hill. And I believed him. Or maybe I just didn't want to be the reason he failed. I funded it all without complaining. I told myself I was helping family, doing what you're supposed to do. The only person who never asked for a dime was my aunt. She was always independent, never put a hand out, but she was close to everyone else, always playing mediator, always acting like the glue that held the family together. After that lonely drive home from the restaurant, I pulled out my laptop and opened every account I'd been using to help them. Autopayments, transfers, scheduled deposits. I sat there for hours, clicking cancel over and over again. Mortgage payments, car loans, business funding, credit card balances, insurance premiums. One after another, I shut them down. I didn't write angry messages. I didn't leave notes explaining myself. I just turned it all off. Not out of spite, but out of understanding. I was done pretending that support meant nothing, that my efforts were invisible, that I didn't deserve a seat at the table, literally. By Sunday morning, my phone was back on. It didn't take long. The first call came at 6 a.m. My sister panicked. Her mortgage payment had bounced, and she was getting notices about late fees. She asked if something had gone wrong with the bank. I answered calmly. I said, "No, nothing went wrong. I just stopped paying." Silence. She sounded confused, like she couldn't even begin to link my decision with the night before. She asked if I was upset. I told her I wasn't upset. I was clear. The support was over. That was all. An hour later, my brother called. His tone was totally different. Not confused, angry. He was demanding. "What game are you playing?" he asked. "You're messing with my business." He told me to turn the payments back on. I gave him the same answer I gave my sister. The game is over. He didn't like that. He accused me of being vindictive. I said nothing more. Then my parents called. Together. Speakerphone. My mom tried to be calm and reasonable. She said she realized they had hurt me, but she thought cutting off financial help was taking things too far. She said that family doesn't keep score, that we should forgive each other. I let her speak, and then I asked her one question. "Was coming to my birthday dinner not worth it to you?" She fell silent. My dad tried to step in, but the line went quiet again. I didn't yell. I didn't try to convince them. I simply let the silence do what it needed to do. That whole day, the calls kept coming. My phone lit up with messages. Text after text. First concerned, then confused, then frantic. Late fees were kicking in. Accounts were being overdrawn. Payments were failing. Reality was catching up. And for the first time in years, it wasn't my problem to solve. That evening, my aunt called. She wasn't angry. She was calm, even gentle. She said she wanted to help fix things. She asked me to meet with everyone. Have a talk. Work things out. She said she knew I was hurt, but I was also putting people's homes at risk. I listened. I respected her. But I told her the same thing I told everyone else. This wasn't about being hurt. This was about finally accepting what was true. They had shown me what I meant to them. I was just making my choices based on that truth. Like I never existed. Like I wasn't the one who paid their phone bills every month so they could stay connected. Like I wasn't the one who took care of my parents' mortgage when Dad lost his job. Like I didn't help my sister with her car payments last winter so she could get her kids to school. I was the financial safety net they all counted on, quietly supporting everyone while asking for nothing but basic respect in return. And yet, when my birthday came around, when all I wanted was one evening of their time, I wasn't even worth a table spot. That realization hit me harder than anything. It wasn't just forgetfulness. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a choice. They didn't just forget my birthday, they prioritized a night without me. I drove home in silence, the kind that rings loud in your chest. The streetlights passed in blurred lines as my mind replayed every favor, every sacrifice, every time I'd said yes, when I should have said no. I thought of my sister's kids. How I bought their backpacks last year because she was struggling. I thought of my brother's rent I covered twice when he was between jobs. I thought of the quiet Christmas where my parents opened a new TV I bought, smiling wide as if it came from Santa and not the son they couldn't be bothered to celebrate. That night, I sat down at my desk, logged into every account I controlled, and one by one, I cut the ties. Cell plans? Cancelled. Auto payments for my brother's subscription services? Gone. Mortgage contributions? Stopped. Every bill, every card, every account that had my name as the source of support. I shut it all down. By morning, my phone was exploding with notifications. Voicemails, missed calls, messages from every direction. My sister was the first to leave a voicemail. Her voice was shaky, half angry, half panicked. I think something's wrong with my phone. Says no service. Did you mess with something? Then my brother, his tone more accusatory. Hey man, Netflix isn't working. What's going on? My dad called next, his voice calmer but confused. Son, I tried logging into the mortgage account and it's asking for payment. Did something change? And then my mother, her message was the one that sealed it. No anger, no confusion, just a soft, guilty whisper. I'm sorry, we should have been there last night. But sorry meant nothing anymore, because it was never about the money. It was about the fact that they took and took until there was nothing left but an empty chair at a birthday table. And still, they chose not to fill it. Like and subscribe for more stories that hit where it hurts. Because sometimes walking away is the most loving thing you can do for yourself.